Well, tomorrow is August 1st, 2021. It's 1 month till elk season and about 2 months till deer season starts. Everyone's practicing shooting and getting trail cameras out there. And one thing I thought of is guys practice all the time with their bows. And I feel like most guys with their archery equipment, when they're shooting target, they're really good shots. Like, I would say most guys at 20 yards can keep a group of arrows within like a baseball sized group. And if you can do that, you're good enough to kill a deer, no doubt about it. But every year, guys put bad shots on deer, they miss deer, and I think I know a big reason why that is. I've killed a number of bucks in my life. I've missed a few bucks, and I've put poor shots on bucks too. This buck here, I got last year. I put a bad shot on him. He moved right when I released. I hit him too far back. It was at 50 yards. I tried another shot and I missed. And I think I know partially why. We'll get to that. Last year was a tremendous season for me. I had South Dakota, really good luck in South Dakota, and New York didn't let me down either. This buck here was really cool. He had splits on the inside here, so he was actually counting these here, but he was actually a non-typical 12 point, so that's pretty cool. Oh, and then I shot this deer here. That was rifle season, Pennsylvania. Anyway, back to it. Why do guys miss deer? And one reason I think goes back to when I first started bow hunting. I'm older now, and when I first started bow hunting, then this was my first buck. I was 15. It was the first day of rifle season in New York. I was using my bow. I called this deer in with a bleat can, and he circled and he came right back to me. He came straight to me, so he came right to me, and he stopped at 5 yards. And I was really nervous. Like, he was 5 yards, still quartering to. I was shooting a youth bow, and I shot a number of doe even then, but it was my first buck, and I was pretty excited. And he stopped and he was just kind of looking right in my direction, and I got really nervous, and I did what any bow hunter would do. I was like, well, I don't want to scare him, so I looked away and I held my breath. So I was like, and kind of looking out of the corner of my eye, just waiting for him to take a couple more steps so I could shoot and get behind the shoulder, because I knew he was a pretty nice 2-year-old, and I knew if I hit that shoulder I wouldn't get him, so I knew I had to get behind that shoulder. And I waited what felt like forever. It probably was close to a minute, and I heard he started walking again, and then I turned and I held my breath and got my bow back, and I'm there like all nervous, and I shoot, and I actually put a really good shot on him. I heard him crash, and it was awesome. But most people, they say with public speaking, and I think it goes with shooting bow too. When you're in a crunch time and maybe you're public speaking, there's a few hundred people out there, maybe even 30 people, and you're like, everyone's looking at you. The natural thing to do is like, you get this sense of fear. Your heart starts racing. You start breathing really short and shallow, like, and your lungs just don't get air. And then one thing with public speaking is if you just slow down and you just take time and talk and breathe normally, you can carry on whatever presentation you have and actually present it. Remember hunting at my dad's farm in New York? I so kindly set you up in my brother's tree stand, and you shot your first bow buck, a 10 point, one of the biggest bucks ever taken off the farm. You were so excited you couldn't hardly talk. Thanks for the use of the tree stand. Well, I've found the same thing goes with deer hunting. A big buck runs in, you're like, oh my God, here he is, or whatever, and you get all excited. Well, it's hard, but if you just slow down and be like, okay, That's a really nice buck. You just breathe deep and take it easy. And then when you take that shot, then you just settle your pin right like you do with practicing, and just breathe regularly and shoot and just follow through with that shot. And I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of bad shots. I've put a lot of good shots on deer. I've seen a lot of the deer I've shot go down, which is really awesome. I think being hunters, there's a ethical code, I think, that you shouldn't put a poor shot on a deer and cause it to suffer longer than necessary. So that's my 2 cents. So yeah, scout and hunt safe, practice, and remember that whether you're public speaking or you're shooting in the crunch moment, whether that's a big elk, your first deer, a buck, whatever it might be, then take your time. Remember to breathe and take that shot. So that's my tip for you. I'll have more videos later. I have deer tags for 3 states this year. 1 state is really good. I'll do a video about that later. And I drew I think they would call it a very sought after elk tag that I've been waiting for a number of years. So I'm going to be doing that hunt with me. So stay tuned. If you didn't subscribe, and yeah, then you'll be notified, or at least you can see it in your subscription list when I post my next video. I might go over what I'm using for gear this year. Otherwise, then stay tuned and yeah, see what I can come up with this year in Colorado elk hunting, and New York, another special whitetail state, and Pennsylvania. Catch you later.